The Black Lives Matter movement has been around for a while, but in the last couple of weeks, popularity for the movement has skyrocketed due to the recorded death of George Floyd. Now, many across the nation and the world are protesting against injustices that the African American community and people of minorities face. The Black Lives Matter movement was created in 2013 after the man who murdered Trayvon Martin, an unarmed black man, was acquitted. Originally, it was just a hashtag, but became a popular movement in 2014 after neither of the policemen that killed two more unarmed black men, Michael Brown and Eric Garner, were charged. Many around the country started to stand up against the unjust killings of unarmed African Americans, both children and adults. The Say Her Name movement highlighted the murders and injustices that black women face. These movements were considered controversial by many for the next couple years, but after the death of George Floyd on May 25th, support for the movement is higher than it ever has been.
8 minutes 46 seconds is the length of time prosecutors say Floyd, a 46-year-old black man, was pinned to the ground under a white Minneapolis police officer, Derek Chauvin's, knee before he died, during an arrest for allegedly using a counterfeit bill. 8 minutes and 46 seconds has become a powerful symbol among protesters. Protesters all over the United States knelt for exactly 8 minutes and 46 seconds to honor the death of George Floyd. Many celebrities have joined this movement and have donated millions of dollars to the Black Lives Matter campaign.
After the unjust death of George Floyd, protests have spread in all 50 states across the United States and across the world. One of the reasons that many started to protest around the nation was to charge the officers involved in George Floyd's murder, but that wasn't the only reason. Discrimination and murder has been a big problem in the African American community for a long time, and people have grown tired of it. Many call to defund the police, pointing out how much money is spent on it and how undertrained and unprepared most cops are despite all that funding. Police have responded to many protests with excessive force, like using tear gas and rubber bullets.
The Black Lives Matter protest has been supported for many people, but the breaking of windows, burning of properties, and stealing jewelry and goods that have accompanied the peaceful demonstration are making some people hesitant about whether they support completely the protests or not. People support Black lives, but not the looting behind it.
Rubber bullets are being used by cops across the United States against protesters as a non-lethal weapon, but many have been badly injured by it. For one, rubber bullets are not actually rubber. They have a metal core and are surrounded by rubber. The reason behind many injuries is the fact that authorities do not use them correctly. They are tended to be used at a distance and shot at an angle for it to hit another surface before hitting a person, in order to slow down the bullet and minimize harm. The harm caused by the misuse of these bullets can vary from broken jaws to permanent brain damage, and in some cases, it has even caused death.
The Blackout Tuesday was a day where people posted on social media phrases or messages featuring black backgrounds supporting the Black Lives Matter movement.
Whiteout Wednesday was a movement that many who are against the Black Lives Matter movement participated in. It was meant to undermine the Blackout Tuesday movement and promote the All Lives Matter movement that stands against it. Although many tried to popularize the self-created holiday, people from all different types of communities flooded the hashtag on social media with Black Lives Matter information, and even some K-pop fans have band together to flood the hashtag with their favorite musician in order to block out racist messages from reaching people. Some white people have started using the hashtag George Floyd Challenge in order to mock the death of George Floyd. This challenge consists of posting a picture of themselves kneeling on the neck of another person in order to imitate the manner in which Mr. Floyd died. As of now, at least 3 teenagers have been arrested on hate crime charges. Although it does not seem to be a widespread challenge, and only few have done it, the internet has responded to it with disappointment and disgust. Many are pointing out on social media that the death of a man isn't something that can be turned into a lighthearted challenge.
Anonymous claims to be a decentralized international hacktivist movement that has been going on since 2003. This hacker has been conducting digital exposes. The hacker emerged in 2020 again exposing videos regarding the Black Lives Matter protests, helping and providing information to protesters.
Many people, and even some world leaders, have criticized Donald Trump's response to the Black Lives Matter protests. In some of his statements addressing the matter, he has been in what seems to be supportive of police brutality, with one of his tweets reading, "When the looting starts, the shooting starts." This tweet was even flagged down by Twitter for violating their guidelines and glorifying violence. Trump responded to protests outside the White House by putting the building on lockdown and hiding in the building's bunker on May 29, 2020. In an attempt to show that he wasn't hiding, he did a photo shoot of a walk down to St. Espicol's Church. The problem was that in order to get a clear pathway to the church, a group of peaceful protesters were cleared out using non-lethal weapons like rubber bullets and tear gas.
Mexico has been directly affected. 4 Latinos raised the Mexican flag in the United States during the Black Lives Matter movement. Protesters gathered outside of an immigration and customs enforcement center in Aurora, Colorado, and exchanged the American flag for the Mexican flag, also raising a spray-painted Blue Lives Matter flag. Recently, a 30-year-old builder, Giovanni Lopez, was arrested violently for not wearing a face mask. His family didn't receive news for days, and when they finally received some, they were told he had to be transferred to the Hospital Civil de Guadalajara, where he died that same day. The forensic test told them that he had received multiple hits and had received a shot in his left leg. They were told it was because he acted violently when they tried to take him. This sparked a protest feeling among the Mexican people, also supporting the Black Lives Matter movement.
The Black Lives Matter movement has had the most exposure it has ever had, and protesters are not wasting the opportunity to spread information on the injustices minorities have faced since the beginning of the United States history. Many are tired of it and are ready to take a stand.